Dacă țineți aproape.
Se aude? Da. Dacă am dat drumul. Da? Stați acolo. Ok. Good afternoon and welcome to all we are attending today at our event, both in person and also online. Today we are attending at talks type event hosted by University Polytechnica of Bucharest, the largest and most important university of Romania, which more than 200 years old. And now, what it is a talks type event, and what in the context does it take place? These type events are launched by Inocor EELISA project, a project financed by Horizon 2020. Horizon 2020, as you know, is European Commission RDI framework. The aim of this project is to increase research institutional capacity of an alliance of European universities. In this case, it's about EELISA, so EELISA Alliance. EELISA Alliance, EELISA, means European Engineering, Learning, and Innovation and Science Alliance. And this alliance has a number of 11 universities, and University Polytechnica of Bucharest is one of the 9 members, because this alliance has 9 members and 2 affiliated members, all of them universities. Members are universities. University Polytechnica of Madrid is a coordinator of this alliance, and also we have as partners universities from France. It's about of École Nationale de Ponts and Chaussées, ENPC, University Paris de Science and Lettres, de Lettres and Science, PCL, de Science and Lettres. Other 2 universities from Paris affiliated. It's about of Mines Paritech and Chimie Paritech. From Germany, our partner is Friedrich Alexander in Largen University, the second innovative university from the first 100 innovative university of Europe. Another partner is Budapest Economics and Technical University, Istanbul Technical University from Turkey, and other 2 partners from Italy. It's about of Scuola Nazionale Superiore and Scuola Superiore Sant'Anna, both from Pisa. Also, Alliance EELISA develops another 2 projects, EELISA Erasmus, in supporting educational transformation activities, and EELISA Unfolds for entrepreneurship and innovation development, and also for creation ecosystem, innovation ecosystem. EELISA innovation talks aim to raise the public awareness and those also scientific and innovation awareness for knowledge generated in ELISA and are publicly visible events and fora discussion in the digital and real world. These events also shall thematize to use technology and innovation in supporting the sustainable development and develop a strong brand in ELISA for a broader public. And now I invite Professor Alexandru Marin, which is the head of Technology Transfer Innovation Office, to make an introduction for our for UPB entrepreneurship and innovation system, and also to invite our external expert to present their themes proposed for today: business theory of commodities for research and innovation entrepreneurship. As you can see, exciting subject, and we will can see during the presentation of Mr. Crețu. Now I invite Professor Alexandru Marin, and I give him the floor.
No, it's not necessary. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Alexandru Marin. I'm professor at University Polytechnica from Bucharest. I'm the head of Innovation and Tech Transfer Department. And I want to make an addition to the acronym of the project, ELISA. I think we should be very proud that Elisa Zanfirescu was the first Romanian engineer, chemist engineer. And she was recognized in Germany making studies for engineering, because in Romania they say no woman can do studies in engineering. And she was applauded because she was a very, very, very skilled engineer. So we are very proud that ELISA is a name of Romanian engineer, first Romanian chemist engineer. Concerning the innovation ecosystem from our university, I took something that is mapping some chapters that we want to develop concerning infrastructural development, external opportunities, societal challenges, funding framework, government regulation, strategy development, and innovation brokers and facilitators. In very short information for people who are not part of our university, we have about the infrastructural development, a smart campus and some research centers, a good structure offering possibilities for PhD students and for other researchers to do applied research and not only. Major campus development of university with help of structure fund. In this spirit, we have two very modern campus and precise acronym research infrastructures. We benefit of external opportunities. That means we benefited a lot, and we hope in the future to benefit also about structure funding programs. And we are member of several innovation clusters and in automotive, artificial intelligence, smart materials, and other field of activity. Unfortunately, it's a large gap between cities and rural areas. So our university is not only producing engineers. I think our challenge is to be part of the societal challenges that are in front of us. And about the funding framework, we also benefited a lot in all previous funding programs at European level. Polytechnica University was the first in Romania attractor of funding, public funding mainly. And about the sources of this funding, you have the list of this funding here. But one challenge that we present today, it's about the limited private funds. And Mr. George Crețu, I think, will present a very modern approach coming from the United States, when we should consider very strongly how to attract private funding. And I think also the innovation in our region, Bucharest, Ilfov, and in Romania, It's also a challenge because the new approach about higher education should take in consideration the third mission, that means not only education and research, but also developing entrepreneurial spirit and complementary aspects. Concerning the government regulation, I think our leadership proved that has all decisions put in place, and our top management is supporting a lot the idea of transforming our tradition 200 years more in a very modern approach in our ecosystem. And we are very proud that in this very strong consortium, Polytechnica, I want to confess, it's a strong partner. Sometimes, you know, in previous programs, partners from western part of Europe were stronger and giving us lessons. It's not true. We have a basic knowledge similar or better sometimes. The problem, we don't have the application sufficiently developed. And I will finish my presentation very short, because the purpose is not to present Polytechnica, but I think for people from outside it's important to do it. These innovation brokers, facilitators, developing and professionalization of technology transfer office. Just 2 days ago, I want to confess, I was part of a discussion where our UEFIS CDI, you have here UEFIS CDI, this is Management Authority in Romania for Public Funding in Research and Innovation. They are discussing a new policy approach about technology transfer and how to make it efficient. And we have here a structure that is dedicated to entrepreneurship education that is called UPBs. It's not happening that UPB and EASE together are going, I think they should go sufficiently well. And as you see, we are part of Măgurele Science Park, so we are together with physicians, with chemists, together with people with researchers that are doing basic research, not only applicative research, in the idea to promote and develop a structure that we call Innovation Lab. It's an initiative coming from Polytechnica. It should be developed. And I think George Crețu will present us how he sees such innovation labs and how Polytechnica could address to develop a business accelerator, business by basics by science. Okay, please, next slide. Thank you very much. I think now it's important to give time to our speaker to present his ideas, very generous one. And in very few words, George Crețu is in front of you. You have the text. I don't want to read the text because I hate reading text. Probably you notice that I do this regularly, the people who knows me. But I think he's a Romanian guy. He graduated engineering in Cluj. He went to the United States, and now he's a serial entrepreneur. What is the connection? And you see the last sentence. He's collaborating with UPB because we felt the necessity to bring professionals when we're trying to develop something in the benefit of our community. And he noticed, and he will confess this, that the potential of Polytechnica is immense, but relative very, very, very few results are coming in the market, and people will say, we should sell technologies, we should bring money. He will present more, but during my discussion with him, I feel like a student, and he is my professor. George, the floor is yours.
I think that I have to go from. You decide. I think that I feel better staying.
You decide.
Standing,
You decide. I will ask your acceptance to sit because I have my microphone. We don't have two mobile microphones, so. The format of the presentation will be a discussion. I will interrupt, and you can then interrupt him, in order to make very vivid the discussion, not to be a presentation.
So I splitted my presentation into two parts, and the first is going to be more theoretical because we are here at in an academic realm, and therefore I felt that it's important to bring to you some principles, some thoughts about what I'm going to do. And the next part is a practical thing we are going to do at University Polytechnica Bucharest during the next half a year. I hope that we'll be ready to present you a new practicality of let's say it's like a new practicality of creating a framework for sustained innovation. So during the first, I'm not a great speaker, public speaker. I'm as much as I'm old, and it's very difficult for me to present to a lot of people, or a lot of outstanding people, my thoughts. But anyway, the discussion today will start with these principles, and I have some chapters related to. For the first one, there are arguments about wealth management, and it's a personal work done during the, during my academic belonging. The second one is something about some thinkers that I met during my life, and they shaped correctly, let's say, that I can say my life, my relationship between my work in academia and my personal work as a serial entrepreneur. So the third one is about considering firms like Commodities. That is a very modern approach. And the third one, the fourth one is the management of sustained innovation, because the idea of sustained innovation will come more and more in my speech. So, at the University of Bucharest, we are working with engineers, and I want to make you a confession. I graduated engineering in Cluj a long time ago, and at Academy of Economic Studies, International Relations at the beginning of 90s. Engineers can be split in three parts. Some of them, they don't like engineers, and they left the profession immediately after they leave the school. The second part is they are very good, and they are going and employ themselves in companies, and they are very good engineers. But there is a part of engineers that they feel that they can change the world. They will be the entrepreneurs, the future entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurship is not about money. It's not about a good idea. It's about your trust that you can change the world. And it's important to give this image to your students. So, unfortunately, sometimes the idea of truth and reality is alienated by writers. There are many guides how to become a good entrepreneur and how to become a good person, and there are a lot of guides, and therefore I decided to tell you a story as a defreezing thing, because in the United States, defreezing is a very important part of the speech. So it's an Asian story that says that a young man in a...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Take this pointer in order to change the slides to follow in correlation with what you speak, because otherwise they see something, you speak about other things.
Okay, no problem. No problem. It's going to be long. The speech is going to be long, sorry. It's going to be long because the format was a little bit longer, and therefore I have to to invent something, but this story is really good, So, we are living in an entrepreneurship legend, which is bad. People are not educated anymore about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a very brutal work, and the entrepreneurs are many times very unhappy. They have a lot of concerns. But the world, the writers, the inspirational writers all over the world present entrepreneurship as being a good thing, wonderful, a lot of money, unicorns, and so on and so forth. And I decided to tell you a story. You know, a young man in a village, in an unknown village somewhere in Asia, decided to go in a journey to look for the truth. And he went from village to another village, from a community to another. And one day, in a community, somebody told them that he can find the truth somewhere on a hill. And he went, and he found over there a very old and ugly woman staying in a cottage over there and living in a cottage. And he asked, you are the truth? Yes, I'm the truth. I'm the truth. And he stayed near her, a couple of days, a couple of weeks maybe, and it was right. She was the truth. After 2 weeks, he decided to leave. And when he was leaving, and just before going back, the lady came and told him that you will go to tell about me to the people in your village, in different communities. You'll tell them that you met the truth. I want to ask you something. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, anything. Ask me anything. And she asked, please tell them that I'm young and beauty. So this is about entrepreneurship. Everything is beauty, and as a matter of fact, it's a nightmare in many situations. So what I've done a long time ago, I studied the problem of wealth. I will tell you in what context. The problem of wealth is that the wealth has two pillars. The first is, studying a lot about wealth, I forgot to get money, So wealth has two pillars. The first one is a business pillar. They have shares, the rich people, They have shares, they have options, they have properties, it's money. It's the business pillar. And the other pillar is a financial one. They have accounts, they have other things, they have money, and they have business. The idea, I observed that the core of development is the speed of transforming the financial assets into business assets. And the country is able to speed up the process of transferring the transformation, the business assets into financial and vice versa, they are rich. And I studied this and therefore, the capital is very important in the discussion. Romania, sometimes I have a joke that it's a capitalistic country without capital sometimes. I feel that, and in many other countries, the lack of capital is obvious, and therefore the development is affected, is badly affected. So, long time ago, when I studied in States, I looked for the truth, and I found a person who received the Nobel Prize in 1993, and I collaborated with him trying to perform a PhD program. And then his name is Douglas North, and he cannot react to what I'm saying right now because he died in 2016, I think. But I learned a lot of things. He was specialized in understanding societies, the difference of development between societies. And he was telling me that, look, George, it's the access to the technology is the same all over the world. You have access to the technology like the British guys. You have the access to technologies like Americans, you know. The difference in development is not about technologies. It's about management. He used to name this kind of management, this kind of public policies, institutions. Actually, institutions in the view of economists is different what in Romania it is. The institutions is constraints defined by the human minds. And when I met him for the first time and I stepped into his office being sent by an assistant of him, and I asked him to be nice with me and to receive me as a student at his PhD program. I told him, look, we have a problem in Romania. We don't have economists. And I can be working with you, studying with you, I can be an economist. And he told me, you don't need economists. You have economists. You need thinkers. And therefore, you know, thinking is more important than any profession. And we are not developing the thinking part of our life, trying to, you know, to become professionals. You know, and therefore, thinking, I believe that I love him. You know, he changed my life, and he explained me why societies are less developed than others, just because, you know, the constitution, the legal rules, the relationship between people, the relationship between society, their place in society are very important in this kind of understanding the development. So Douglas North was the first Nobel Prize winner who introduced in his speech the economic performance. His work is institutions, institutional change, and economic performance, and he's link the performance to the transaction costs. But it's another story, and I will tell you in another circumstances. But you should understand that performance is still important. Performance is not about money; it's about behaviors, and this is my story with Douglas North. Maybe, who knows, maybe just because he wasn't an economist, he was an historian. It might be an interesting thing to introduce this thinker in University Politehnica Bucharest, and not because we can learn a lot of things from his thoughts. So the other thinker I respect a lot. I met him at a conference in the United States. He was about 100. He died when he was 102. But at 100, he was launching a magazine. In 1937, this guy was 27 years old, and he wrote an article in a newspaper, Economia, the theory of the firm. And he, for the first time, he moved the idea of firm from a black box and introduced for the first time the cost theory related to understanding the firm. And he split the costs into production costs and transaction costs. And the transaction cost is a problem with the lack of performance. Later, North took the idea and described for the first time the transaction costs. There are costs with monitoring and enforcement. So, if we are looking today, I was talking with about legal system in Romania. There are many cases in legal system. You know, this means that the transaction costs are huge, and therefore the society is inefficient. It's a nice guy, very good. Young people will love him if they succeed to understand the problem. You know, he got the Nobel Prize in 1960, I think, but for the other thing, you know, not for the theory of the firm. The next one you may know, because here is Peter Drucker, and he wrote Entrepreneurship and Innovation. What is very interesting that it was translated in Romania by the National Bank of Romania in 1991. And it's no new edition in Romania. In Romania it needs Drucker. Drucker is a very important guy. And for the first time, he was talking about introducing innovation as a part of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship without innovation doesn't exist, believe me. And it's a small innovation. Maybe sometimes you cannot see it. But if you have the same bakeries with two entrepreneurs managing them, you'll observe there are many small differences between them. And Drucker introduced the idea of innovation as a very important thing. And I don't met him. I'm not so old, you know, but entrepreneurship and innovation should be read by all the, you know, engineers in Romania. I'm an engineer and I enjoyed it. It is wonderful. And the last one is Clayton Christensen. I'm proud that I met him. I met and I talked with him. He died maybe 1 year ago or 2 years ago. He was a professor at Harvard Business School, and the building in the campus is Clayton Christensen. And he wrote, you know, the seminal work of Clayton Christensen is The Innovator's Dilemma. That only entrepreneurs can innovate, not big companies. Large companies should move the innovators outside the organization and in order to be efficient. Clayton Christensen, he was very famous somehow because he was at Harvard Business School, and Harvard Business Review published a lot of articles of him. And if you want to understand the innovation from a little bit different point of view than Drucker did, look for Clayton Christensen. He's really very good. Yeah. He is recognized. He was recognized by the entire American entrepreneurship realm, but also in academia. So,
may I put a small question?
Yeah.
This dilemma in Polytechnica, do you have a solution, a recommendation?
No, I being outside the Polytechnic, I strongly believe that in Polytechnica Bucharest, it's a huge university, outstanding professors, wonderful students. The only idea that what I believe that a management that in order to move the concept of engineers from a professional to a world transformer is very important. You know, they will belong to the place. They will be better and better. And you have all the circuits, all the conditions here. I think that Polytechnica Bucharest, I visited a lot of other universities all over the world, but I think that the Polytechnica Bucharest has the best conditions for moving a step forward from engineering to world transformer in the mind of your alumni. And I think that you can do it, and to move and close the people close to their belonging, to their success. I being a serial entrepreneur, obviously, I'm working with former students, with Polytechnica former students. I'm doing technology right now, and I'm working with them, and they're outstanding, but they don't have a sense of belonging to the university, and you can create the sense of belonging. I think this is my. The rest is wonderful. I saw people in labs here, and thanks to Professor Marin, who trust me and invited me to see a lot of labs, and people are, and you can solve this innovator's dilemma easily here, because you are not a big company, because you are and you can move them to your incubators and to your accelerators soon, and they will be more and more innovative. Your students, your professor, your PhD candidates, all of them. So the reason we are here is just to give you an argument that firms should be treated as commodities. Any emotional involvement is good, but it's not enough. You know, you should not love your firm. You should think how to sell it out, how to make you an exit. And therefore, it's more important from my point of view to look for funding the company or for a nice exit from your company. And therefore, you know, there are a lot of opportunities here to create firms, but the idea is to transform a business idea from a research framework into a business that can be sold. Otherwise, it's useless. Waiting without any money to go to the market is wasting of time. Therefore, you need an accelerator that to transform your business idea into an investable unit. That is the idea. This is the thing, you know, we should understand. Because what is a firm? A firm has specifications, as a scope, you know, the business proposition, a set of partners, channels, a relationship with customers. A business has the same specifications as a commodity. The second, it has a price, which is very important. From my point of view, a company, a good company, is a company that the price, you know, the value of today is more than yesterday, and tomorrow the value will be more than today. And it's really important to understand this mechanism. It's a mechanism of creating capital. Some times ago, I created a platform, a social platform, that enhanced the relationship between investors and founders, and the founders of companies, in order to create a social profile over there. And it was very interesting that after 2 months, on my platform were about 100 entrepreneurs and 800 investors. There are more investors than entrepreneurs able to create a profile and to go to, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be just because of love. They don't want to see their company being sold in the market. No. I don't know. It's debatable. We should. I think that we need to understand more the psychology of the business founders. So, and the final thing, a company should have a qualified market. What is important to know that specification, price, and qualified market is the same features a commodity, a product has. And the company should be understood like a product that can be sold, it has a value, and it has some specifications. This is the main idea. If we can talk a little bit more in the future about this, as long as we, together with the staff here, we are building an accelerator, business accelerator. So, a sustained I have here some definitions. Sustained innovation is an innovation that arises from a good governance. Without a good governance, the sustained innovation doesn't really exist. And what we are trying to do here is to create a framework for the sustained innovation. The sustained is a continuous process. It's a process. It's a rational process. Because you may have some luck. In your I think that UiPath. UiPath, I know the guys long time ago. I taught them something about business process management, and long time ago, they were young. Their success is a rational success. Why? Because they had not a good idea from my point of view. They didn't have a good idea, but they found out an investment fund that invests in them, and after that a new investment fund investing in them, and they became an American company with a new, and right now they did an IPO, initial public offering, with a lot of other investors. It was a very rational way of doing business. It was a rational way. So sustained innovation, it's a rational way of enhancing innovation. And it's a matter of governance. It's a matter of framework that we are creating right now for coming to you and to university, to the society, with a place where the innovation exists, where the innovation is flourishing. So, just a few words about. It is a transdisciplinary approach with focus on the entrepreneur and her development infrastructure, because I strongly believe that ladies will be in front of us, you know, with this. According to my experience, it is true that ladies are better business persons today than men, which is strange, but I tell you, they are amazing. So transdisciplinarity is it's not multidisciplinarity. Transdisciplinarity was invented and described by a Romanian, Basarab Nicolescu. Basarab Nicolescu, I met him at the Congress of Disciplinarity somewhere in Brazil. And it was very interesting that he told me the difference between multidisciplinarity and transdisciplinarity. Multidisciplinarity is, you know, you are doing a soap and you put inside carrots, onion, and everything. This is multidisciplinarity. The transdisciplinary is a cook. He is, or her, or she is the transdisciplinarity. And believe me, it's a transdisciplinarity approach. So, everybody will criticize me because
may I stop you a moment? May I stop you a moment?
So
in order to go to Polytechnica, because I kindly ask colleagues from Polytechnica to have an appreciation. First of all, between this challenge, entrepreneur, people, human resources, and infrastructure, incubators, accelerators, market, not technological, please. Don't make confusion between technological facilities that are important but not sufficient, and development infrastructure in the spirit that we present you. It means the systems, gathering some equipments, capacity, skills, and so on, that should offer possibility to start from incubation, accelerate, and go to market. And please tell me, what is the solution to match them well? Because everything that you presented, I have also my comments. For example, for me, sustained innovation means professional innovation. It's my approach. That means you should be rational. You should be taught. Mm-hmm. You should learn innovation. It's not something that I have an idea. No. You should have instruments that should be controlled as knowledge, and then you should do it. You have the definition of sustained, it's your definition, it's a professional definition. But coming back, all the things that we present here, I think more or less everyone heard, at least in our courses, in our disciplines, and I want to confess and to confirm that in our Faculty of Entrepreneur, 18 of 20 first approved candidates in the list first year, they are women. Only 2 for 20 in the first list are boys, men. Okay, so I confirm everything. Now, because we are passing, and please prepare this speech for Polytechnica, come from these general principles, very valid, to my university. And my university, I want to mention, it's a big company. Maybe I didn't understand correctly. It's not a big company. It's an immense company. It's an immense 15 faculty, 30,000 students, 4,000 employees. So corporative education culture, we don't have this. This is our issue.
Yeah, unfortunately, according to the Christensen, you know, the innovation can't take place in a big company, unfortunately. Why? Because people tend to use the same habits that were successful in the past. If you have successful doing, a research and creating just some patent or an article, and it was enough, and you were happy, you'll not be able to move forward, to innovate, and go to the market and create value. It's a bad thing, you know. It's a bad thing. You need to work a lot. It's a big. Obviously, I try to be nice, you know, and telling them that it's not a big company, but it is a big company. And it's Clayton Christensen said that it's better to move outside from a big company in order to be successful in innovation. And right, absolutely right, Professor. Yeah, absolutely right. We should create. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Before moving on towards the university, I have another question related more or less to your theory here. So in the beginning, you started saying that people who have success more or less are the engineers who put passion in what they are doing. Later on, you described your theory. Please treat your business without putting passion. Exactly, treat it as a commodity. Of course, many entrepreneurships are treating their business like their children, right? I mean, it's my child, and it's my human nature to love my child. I mean, I need to put passion. It's how we are wired, more or less. How would you comment on this?
May I comment first?
Yeah.
You raise the child, but then he get married. So this is the meaning on my side. So you raise the child with nothing, then he get married. He forgot you.
Yeah.
George, please be professional now.
Yes, changing the world doesn't mean exactly being a lover. Changing the world means more being professional. And you know, the profession. Yeah, we are talking about innovation today, but I strongly believe that the innovation is not enough to be in your product, in your idea. The innovation can be a nice idea, but without a management and leadership system around you, you'll be never able to do something with it. Therefore, sometimes, and management is more important in innovation than the technical things, you know. Therefore, I'm a manager. I'm a professional manager. I don't know this. I've never coded any. I don't have complex syntax. You know, in Romania, it's really a bad thing. You know, we don't have managers. We don't have managers. We don't have entrepreneurs. We don't have we should develop it together. Don't wait for the government, you know, but you can do it. I see here a lot of very young and outstanding people, and I believe that if you understand the process, the management processes, and you can apply to your work, you'll be very successful in the future, because the innovation resides in management. Believe me, it's a matter of management. It's a cruel management sometimes. The changing the world cannot be done by lovers, you know, but it can be done by the passionate professionals, and I think that we are there. So I just want to present a little bit from University Polytechnica Bucharest gave me the opportunity to discuss about an older project I had in my mind. I learned how to do this project collaborating with MIT and the Technical University in New York. And for me, it is really important to present to you, and maybe to others, a concept, a very American somehow concept, that, you know, for example, a university like MIT is doing yearly $100 million from exits. They have many accelerators over there, and the university is part of the business, is part of all these businesses, accelerated businesses, and they are doing exits, and they are earning $100 million per year, which is amazing, you know. And it was our proposal to your staff, let's do some money for University Polytechnica Bucharest, showing that the concept is right. And we start doing. I'm not going to present all these things, but I think that it's a very good. Is very good to understand all the people present online that University Polytechnica Bucharest is doing a very brave, a very professional project right now, and it's a management project which is I hope that I will have the support to do it, because right now. In Romania and maybe all over Europe, there are money to support, to increase, to support and to grow this kind of initiatives. So, we named it for the moment B-Spine Tech, just because it refers to a mechanism of taking the ideas from the research and putting it in a business context. So great ideas from the academic ecosystem and manage them to a monetizable scenario, transforming the theory incubated in research to money, which it's a very interesting approach, and the idea is there are some prerequisites that can be considered. It's a creation of functional vehicles, a sustainable investment network, a solid sponsorship, an entrepreneurship modern curriculum, an education, sorry, it's written 2 times, the education practice and the cultural change that we need to manage. But anyway, we are very close to this construction, to start this construction, and I hope that it's gonna be an important construction in this context of entrepreneurial university we are living today.
You passed, probably not intentionally, that correct and honest relationship with the market. George, define for us, like university, in the spirit, which could be the market, in general terms?
My view is the market is an investing market. Obviously we should be connected to the client's market, but anyway, the most important thing is to understand the investment market, because it's very difficult to evaluate the customer market, the business market. It's much better to control the investors market. What is very important here is correct and honest relationship with the market. And I will tell you something about from football. Everybody is talking about why there are not investors to invest in football. All over Europe, there are a lot of investment, huge investment in football, but in Romania, no. And I asked an investor specialized in sport, why he is not doing business in Romania. Because there are some rumors, just some rumors, about arrangements in games, and people are not so fair, and they don't want. Therefore, university and business should have a correct relationship with the outside, with the ecosystem. Otherwise, never. If we are not considering, the competitive approach, a real competitive approach for this construction, no one will invest. Therefore, the competitive approach is really the most important asset we have today. So, Professor?
I just wanted to comment a bit. You mentioned earlier about trust.
Mm-hmm.
To have trust and to have rules that should be respected.
Mm-hmm.
You know very well, in Romania, more or less, we have laws. They are not applied or they are not respected. Okay, but the only critical situation is that because we don't have a regulated system that we're losing the money for nothing, mm-hmm. This is the only cause about this, or it's about we don't have a real market, investment market. It's a discussion, please comment, and probably I'm wrong.
No,
do we have business angels and investment funds in Romania private? Do we have it, yes or no? Because my impression is we try to fight attracting every time public money, only public money, this is the dream of everyone, but we lose the aspect of private money that you want to promote in our front of us.
Yeah, in Romania, it's a strange thing, as I told you. It's only after 30 years of capitalism, in May, the first VC appeared. A big success, sparkling VC, it's the name. Two guys, crazy guys, fighting with the authorities to create a VC. Can you imagine that right now there are a lot of money administrated by, for equities administrated by European Investment Fund, and they give this money to the funds outside Romania in order to be invested in Romania. I'm here just as I told you. I'm going to, to tell you the brutal situation. It's a big problem. For example, Poland did a lot of steps. There are lots of VCs staying over there, and with a lot of money invested in the education of the entrepreneurs is to look for investment, to look for capital from the very first stages. Yes, it's gonna be a problem, and sometimes, the next slide is about sustainability, because we are, and sometimes the unfairness. You have some money and you want to invest in something. You have something, a capital. Would you invest in an unfair environment? You'll not invest anything, Therefore, this is a big problem, and therefore we should build here an example for the society of an accelerator that is able to bring investors, to bring sponsors, and to create an emulation here in University Polytechnica Bucharest. It's a brave management step, but it's about you. It's not about me. What I'm doing here is just to give you an image about what, and to give you some emotions, to transmit to you some of my emotions about this approach.
George, I think you didn't address that hazardously that generation in the third row. Mm. I kindly ask you, because some of you, I think I've met you sometimes, maybe I'm wrong, sorry. Do you have any question for George to transfer his knowledge in something that you understand and want to apply? Because my only concern is to leave the room without having any perception, any things that entered you. I will tell you a joke that I tell to my students. You are students, some of you, or everyone is graduate. Are you students? No. Okay, about license, please give me a definition of Bologna system. Bachelor, master, and PhD studies. Do you have a definition of this? But not a formal one. I'll give you a joke. One professor told me like this. When you want to make bachelor, it's smelling. When you do master, you are getting in mouth. And when you do PhD, you get in the stomach. It's a joke. But come back now. These principles, very nice. And his experience. Please Let's have a discussion. Otherwise, only me, Professor Ciprian Dobre, it's for you. Do you have any question, any remarks, anything that you think it could be useful for you? For example, the guy, Răzvan Crăciunescu, he's doing very well. He's in our team. I know him. He's doing a lot of things. Please don't have a discussion inside this format that we are implementing the project. It's for you, this discussion. These talks are for you. Please.
For me. Okay, so I can give you some comments regarding. Your question is right. Why don't we have investment in universities, or in research is not going to be tech transferred? And I think there is also a lack of people, knowledge, experience, experts that can be honest brokers. So that can be all of can do this, but also it's the mentality of us, the professors, that we want to publish or perish. So because this is how for me to become an associate professor, I had to publish more than to patent more. So from this point of view, it's a challenge to patent or to have your discoveries published as Q1, Q2, or articles red, yellow, and so on. But also, so we are trying to do this with this proof of concept that we launched. So we are trying to change the mentality and to make professors in Polytechnica going more for understanding the user and how their research can apply to a user, and not going to a new TRL without asking the market. So we are trying to do this in Polytechnica using EELISA framework and our partners from EELISA, but it's a broader problem in Romania and also in other academic institutions all over Europe. So the difference Europe versus the United States is the United States, a lot of universities are private. So being private, it's easier. Not being public. Being public, you are constrained by a lot of rules, laws, government, and so on. Versus private, but also they have another investment arm. So usually all the universities have an investment arm, and they are using that investment arm in order to invest in their technology. So the technology is transferred to the investment arm, then the investment arm can negotiate deals, licensing, royalties, spin-offs, tech transfer with companies that are interested, or with investors, VC. And also we don't have a tech transfer venture capital in Romania, and also this is another thing that it's a problem for us. But with this new money and with the fact that Polytechnica wants this, and usually the big university, I feel that wants to go to the market and to monetize their research and patents, I think things will change. So this is my belief. What's your belief?
In third row, do you have any opinions, colleagues young that are not skilled in this? Have you entrepreneurial initiative? Do you have companies? Are you implied in some companies with your friends? Maybe?
Not quite, but recently, as our colleague mentioned, I applied for the POC project, and but the most important problem I faced at this project is the lack of knowledge of entrepreneurship, monetization, commercialization of products. Maybe with more knowledge in this area, probably the research could be easily transferred to markets and for investors.
I want to mention you have in room the two mentors. Răzvan and George are mentors for proof of concept. So they are here. Address them.
Okay.
And in front of us, please, George, give the microphone to the guy in front of there. Claudiu, wake up. He's a patent attorney. Please encourage us to patent. Tell us what means the patent. You know what I mean, please.
I cannot do that. we have a patent system according to treaties and international treaties and international conventions. We have the legal system, but we don't have technical inventions, because we are talking about technical inventions to go abroad with them. We don't have strong patents in Romania. We do not exist outside Romania, because we don't apply for international patents or regional patents. Our national patents are I don't know how to say, are uncountable, and it's bad. It's a bad situation. I'm in this field for more than 17 years. I worked before for our National Patent and Trademark Office, and I know the, let's say, statistics, and the quality of the inventions is not so good.
Okay.
But I can strongly believe that we can we can work more and to get awareness in at least in this field, and to make a team with all over the specialists, and to apply and to go further. If you have a patent, doesn't mean let's say almost anything.
It's just a starting point. Okay.
Sorry?
It's just a starting point.
It's just a starting point.
Razvan, please.
Thank you very much.
So I have a question for George, because he's...
I wanted to give him the floor to see some... What is the reflection about this opinion in the room?
So, because I also talk with him, and I know that he wants to be a big investor. If at Polytechnica we are going to have, let's say, a patent, so Mr. Marin office has, I don't know, 10 patents. What are you going to look for in these 10 patents in order to come with a proposal for University Polytechnic of Bucharest to license, to give us royalties, or to start a sport, to finance a spin-off from the list of patents that we have at our patent office? So from an investment point of view, what are you looking for in our patents in order for you to get them and to monetize them and to, I don't know, commercialize them and so on?
Being, speaking as an investor, we are in the middle of a process of creating a VC specialized in artificial intelligence. But anyway, speaking as an investor, I think that all these patents should be analyzed, and to understand exactly how to coin them, how to, their potential to go with them to the market, to see exactly the potential. It's a matter. Yes, the question is very good. The question is very good, but we need to analyze them with the specialists to see exactly the potential, their commercial potential, their business potential. I think, according to what I saw during my visits in different labs here, it's a lot of potential, but we should stay together and understand that the rules of the market, the real market, is different than the rules of patent, a patent office. The rules of the market are quite different, and we need specialists and stay together and analyze the potential for getting money from it. Yes, yes, it's a very good approach actually to all these patents.
Analyze these patents and to decide how they can be commercialized, yes, by licensing, by spin-off startups, and so on. This is the lack of our administrative structure. We haven't such administrative structure or layout structure. We can
please speak near the microphone in order to be listened by YouTube, please.
We have results, research results, many research results. We have a limited number of patents, but is a very, very huge lack of valorization and much more commercialization of these results, which can be commercialized, because not all the research results they can involve and can develop, and the one stage of this research result could be transformed in a patent. But from the patents until the valorization and commercialization, there are a long way, and it's necessary to have structure and to have knowledge about all this route, all this way.
If it's allowed, I want to intervene a bit. Dear colleagues, Răzvan told you it's easier for you to publish. It's harder not to patent. It's harder to discuss with a potential entrepreneur or investor. This is my job. You say, many of you maybe thought that I don't have competence. I tell also to my students, test me. But I advise you from the moment when you will come and start this journey, client journey with me, you will be sometimes afraid. It's a long and hard journey. This journey for investment is not something like this. No, no. It's hard working. But my invitation, when you think about patenting and everything, please come to me, because this is my job in my Polytechnica, and then I will go to George to tell him, George, I have something for you. I don't tell you anything. It's something secret because this is my job, but I want to present you something to put on the table. This proof of concept want to help you to present yourself professional in front of investor. Because you present with a PowerPoint in front of George, George will say, no, it's not good. I don't need a PowerPoint. George, please comment on this, because you are professional. Take the
microphone. It's right. You know, a question, because I don't remember, the owner of the patents are university.
Yes, we discuss about owning by university. We have some patents owned by natural persons or companies, but I discuss only patents owned by Polytechnica.
My Polytechnica, yes. I think that we can analyze, because we are processing ideas, and we can analyze everything. You know, I don't know exactly, because the investors are another human beings. They are they have a different way of thinking, and therefore I cannot tell you that all the patents are good for to be coined. Anyway, I will. Yeah, but the idea, Răzvan, I see idea is very good. Just to start with analyzing the patents, and maybe we can find 1, 2, 3, 10 good ideas to start to create, to put them in a sustained innovation framework. Yeah. Actually, we are processing ideas. We are here. I'm here, understanding that there are some ideas that should be processed. We cannot, you know, ask for proof of the market. No, just processing the ideas and drawing some conclusions is the most important thing for this moment. And afterwards, let's put them in an acceleration module, and in 3 months to prepare the owners, the executives, and the product to go with it to the market. Can you imagine that even the philosophy organizations have business accelerators in the United States? For me, it was a big surprise to see that in Romania is no university accelerator. It doesn't exist for the moment. I didn't know, actually. I didn't know. I had an occasional discussion with Professor Dobre, and he told me we don't have anything, and based on the experience I have with Founder Institute, I will give you an example about the opportunity. 2 days ago, we had a meeting with the European Investment Bank and the European Investment Fund about the funds that are going to be distributed in Romania by them. So there are some VCs financed by European Investment Fund. It was very interesting. They participated as investors at the, I don't know, you know better, it was an event about web in Romania, how to web. And they went as investor, it's about Gapminder, and they couldn't find any idea in which they came with a lot of money in their pockets. And 30 companies came over there, and he told me, George, it's a big problem. We couldn't find any idea to put my money over there, to put the investors' money. They were lying about numbers. They were lying about the exposure to the market. University has the chance to change it. This is the idea.
About sustainability, George, because it's already 6:30, you said you are afraid about 1.5, so we have still only 5 minutes. Speed up the process and explain us this mechanism.
Thank you. You are the entertainer, a very good entertainer, actually. The idea is it's about sustainability, and this is a model of sustainability of the accelerator we plan to develop, to implement and develop at University Polytechnica Bucharest. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So everyone, thank you very much for your participation. Please take some thoughts about this. And I think Claudio Ferraru wants to have a final word. It's very important. I think it's not hazardous that I invited him because he's supporting us with patenting activities in a professional way. George, give Claudio the microphone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. George, can I tell you? Do you buy or actually or assign or license a patent without having at least a prototype as an investor?
A proof of concept in a traditional way, something to prove that the things are working. And I want to make a mention. Dear colleague, George, 1 moment. We don't buy and sell patents, we buy and sell technologies, patented or not. Patent is a way to protect. Patent is not an object. You sell a technology, a service, something. The patent is something that could give you monopoly. Please take care about this.
So the idea, I will tell you something. From my point of view, the first prototype of an idea is a pitch deck. It's not is not a prototype, physical prototype. The pitch deck is the first prototype of an idea. If you can do, as a researcher, a pitch deck, it's enough to talk, to think together, and to start doing something. You know, going for the first time in crowdfunding, for example, to get some, 100,000, and afterwards to go to a VC for a pre-seed investment, and going and going and going. This was a rational process UiPath did. UiPath is not a Romanian company.
Not
You should
anymore.
understand.
Not anymore.
Everybody should understand. And it's an amazing for me how minister, they are talking about UiPath. They are promoting in front of us a foreign company for free.
In 2017, they were here by a representative, and they say like this: we hire 400 people everywhere in the world, everyone from Romania, but we have no contract with Romanian authorities. Now this is corrected, but UiPath is not anymore a Romanian company. He has an initiator, Daniel Dines, who is the wealthiest guy in Romania. I am very happy to mention this, but he's now in the United States. Why? George, tell them why he's in the United States.
Oh, because the United States is a place where the capital is a lifestyle. It's for example, to set up a venture capital in Europe, you need 2 years. 2 years all over. In Romania it's a little bit more, 10 years. But anyway, if you are going to set up in Luxembourg, for example, a venture capital, it lasts 2 years. In the United States, in Canada, a couple of months, which is a big difference in understanding the capital flows, the capital structure, the capital nature, the risk investments. Maybe we'll have the chance to do not be. When I'm not when I know I'm an academic, I can be a good. I cannot deal with academic thoughts. But anyway, my exposure was with different people, and I studied without any. I didn't need to be a PhD. I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I considered, my PhD is about the operational decision. It's a psychology of operational decision. I strongly believe that my piece of paper is the best business writing during the last 10 years. You should trust in what you are doing. Maybe it's not right. But anyway, I believe that I had something to tell to the world. And look, I'm old enough and to be enough smart to believe, strongly believe, that what I'm doing right now, I feel that I can change something, and it's up to you to support the initiative. And I will tell you something about the university system in the United States. They are looking for the alumni all the time. The alumni are an important part of their activity. And, they belong to the university. They belong to the university. I graduated New York University, and I'm still communicating with them monthly with a newsletter or something new about our university, an invitation for an event. And I graduated grad school in 2000. It's about 22 years. And they still communicate with me. This is the idea. University Polytechnica Bucharest has the potential to do it. Very smart people. I met here a lot of smart and nice people. Thank you very much.
George, thank you very much. A big applause for him. The talk was for you. Please keep in contact. Stay close and let's profit on Răzvan and George because they want to mentor you. Big success to everyone. Thank you.